Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Mariana Victoria Riojas Solis.
Ms. Riojas Solis. Ma'am, you're here on 3 Superior Court probation violation warrants. These are for alleged violations of Term 3. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing October 16th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I'm affirming bond in each of the warrants is the amount of $100 each. Total is $300. It is secured appearance. Technically, you can work with a bail bonding company. However, that amount is so low, I don't know if any will work with that number, but I may be mistaken. If you pay your bonds, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You're also promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons. You also must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Ms. Riojas Solis, do you have any questions?
I wondered if I could be released to rehab, if there's any way possible.
So, unfortunately, Ms. Riojas Solis, I don't have the ability to release somebody to rehab.
Okay.
So you can talk to the probation judge. They may have the ability to do that, but I'm not able to do that.
Okay. And am I able to pay the 10%?
Well,
or no?
Maybe. I guess I don't think bail bonding companies, when the amount's so low, that they do 10% on those numbers, but I could be wrong. I don't know. So there will be phone numbers for bail bonding companies available to you in the jail, and you can call and talk to them.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Renee Valtierra and then Antonio Rios will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Renee Valtierra.
Thank you, Mr. Valtierra. Mr. Valtierra, you're here on a Superior Court probation violation warrant. This is for alleged violations of Terms 3 and 5. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing October 16th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I am affirming bond in the amount of $250. That is a secured appearance bond.
Alrighty.
Secured appearance means you can work with a bail bonding company. However, the amount's so low, I don't know if any will work with that number. I may be mistaken, though. If you pay your bond, you'll be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates and promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol. You must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Mr. Valtierra, do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Antonio Rios and then Jessica Anderson will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Antonio Rios for.
Thank you, Mr. Rios. Mr. Rios, you're here on a Superior Court failure to appear warrant. You have a status conference October 24th, 8:31 a.m. Preliminary hearing October 28th, 8:31 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Mr. Rios, I'd like to give you another chance to get to court. You've only missed court once in this case. If I release you on supervised release, will you promise me you'll go to court on the 24th and make your future court dates?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I take you at your word, Mr. Rios. So you will be leaving here in about 4 hours to 6 hours from now. Because you're being released, you're promising to go to court. Well, you've already have promised that. You have the standard conditions and restrictions of release, plus you're not to possess any weapons and must submit the fingerprinting at the arresting police department. Mr. Rios, do you have any questions?
What did you say? What was the last part?
Oh, yeah. So you need to submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department within 5 days of today's date.
Okay.
So whatever the arresting agency was, reach out to them to organize that time.
Okay, so now it's supervised. What do I do about that?
Good question. So when you're leaving, they're going to provide you a packet of information about how to comply with the supervision.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Rios. Good luck to you. Jessica Anderson and then Joseph Ricketts will be on deck. Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Yes, Your Honor. My name is Jessica Marie Anderson. My birthday is July.
Thank you, Ms. Anderson. Ms. Anderson, you're here on an El Centro Justice Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegation one count of criminal trespass in the third degree, which is a Class 3 misdemeanor. Now, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel due to the nature of this charge. However, you can hire your own attorney if you wish to do so. You have an arraignment hearing at the El Centro Justice Court, October 24th, 8:30 a.m. The address will be in your paperwork. Ms. Anderson, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. That means you should be leaving here in about 4 hours to 6 hours from now. Because you're being released, you are promising to go to court on the 24th and make all other court dates. You're also promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Ms. Anderson, I believe part of this issue here was that you had been previously trespassed. So one of the conditions is you're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. I'm personally a big fan of that area of Phoenix, but for your own sake, don't go back there, okay? And then, again, it's the other standard conditions and restrictions of release. Ms. Anderson, do you have any questions?
Yes. More of like a negotiation type of deal. So I'm from Seattle. I have a whole job in Seattle. I'm an individual provider. I work for DSHS, a caregiver, essentially. Mm-hmm. I came out here to visit my kids with a car, and because of the state troopers, I ran out of gas, my own fault. I ran out of gas on the freeway. Whoever Officer Warren from the state troopers is, and then somebody else came, they threatened me out of my car after I complied, gave them my license. They threatened me out of my car with a baton, or they were going to break my window and take me to jail. Here I am 7 months later in jail anyway. I wish I would have did that first, let them break, whatever. So I would have never been in that park sleeping only. And then they trespassed me, and I went back in and was sleeping again. Because everywhere I go, they keep telling me to go somewhere else. But I have a whole home where I'm from. I just want to go home. These 211 places, the SOS, the CAS, they're not helping me get home. They keep stealing from me themselves, the security. I don't know what else to do. I'm going to keep sleeping, you know what I mean? Yeah. Last night I'm in the tunnel underneath the bridge part right by that park as well. It's disgusting I'm a caregiver. It's disgusting. And look at my legs, sir. My feet are way where, it's not, I just want to go home to Seattle. I don't have whatever the car, whatever everything else, dismiss the case and say, I would never be in these situations if it wasn't for them doing that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. On the 10 freeway, you can look up the cameras. He literally, with a baton, went back to the count of 3. If I didn't get out, he was going to break my window and take me to jail anyway.
So, Ms. Anderson, about what any, trooper or law enforcement may have done, if you think something improper has happened, you can always file a report with the agency or reach out to your ombudsman. It's not anything that I can do anything about here in court. When
I'm homeless, is it a smart idea to reach out and try to do something against these people when you see what this already? I understand my conditions of release. I'm just going to say yes, Your Honor. Okay. Thank you.
And Ms. Anderson, what I'm trying to say is I'm not in any way trying to dismiss your concerns. I'm just saying, unfortunately, it's not anything that I can do in court regarding those things. So, it sounds like you've reached out to various public assistance agencies?
Yes.
Okay. Do we still have that paperwork? Does it get attached to various shelters?
I know the places. I don't need the paperwork. They've been stealing from me, Your Honor. That's all I have to say. If that's all you have to say, then this is all I have to say.
Okay. All right. Well, Ms. Anderson, I do wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Joseph Ricketts and then Fabiola Perez will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Joseph Lee Ricketts.
Thank you, Mr. Ricketts. Mr. Ricketts, you're here on a Justice Court warrant from the Hassayampa Justice Court.
I have it right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. What do you have?
I have Justice Court saying that I'm supposed to be there on August the 12th, 2024 at 5 o'clock, but Pinal County picked me up 3 months ago, so I wasn't able to make that appointment.
I see. Okay.
But it's a $90 appearance bond, but I've been released by Pinal County to go to Salvation Army.
Okay.
So I got to call my PO when I get released from here, so I don't know how long that's going to take. But
I see. Well, Mr. Ricketts, here's what I'd like to do. I would like to release you on your own recognizance then. Okay, so your court date for the Hassayampa Justice Court is going to be October 23rd, 9
I get out of there in April.
What's that?
I get out of there in April.
Get out of where? I'm sorry.
Salvation Army, because I'm going straight there when I leave here.
Is Salvation Army here or down in Tucson?
It's in Phoenix.
In Phoenix.
Yeah,
okay.
I have the approval paper right here.
Okay. Well, Salvation Army will not allow you to leave?
Well, it's a 6-month program, so I don't think that they're going to take me there because I ain't going to have no transportation. And I've been trying to I've been wanting to take care of this worm for a long time. I've had this thing since, I think, 2008 or something.
Well, I guess, Mr. Ricketts, I need to know that you're going to go to court on the 23rd. Otherwise, I have to,
Well, I promise you that I'm going to go to court on this, but but like I was saying, by if I tell Salvation Army because I'm in their program, you
Mhm.
think they will take me?
Hopefully they will. I don't know. I haven't worked with the Salvation Army like that.
I
So
will call my
hopefully
mom and see if she would take me.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I mean, if the Salvation Army won't do it, if you don't have family that can do it, maybe reach out to some other people or look into public
Well, I'm
transportation.
pretty sure Salvation Army would do it.
Okay, if they'll do it,
It's a
then
good
great.
program.
That would probably be
Probation officers will want to take me there when I leave here, so.
okay. That sounds like the best situation then. So,
Yeah.
all right, so you will be released about 4 hours to 6 hours from now.
Okay.
You're promising to go to court on the 23rd. The address, all the information will be in your paperwork. You have the standard conditions and restrictions of release as well.
Okay, the number is on there, like the address and everything?
Yeah, the address for the court's on there, the date, time.
Okay, great.
All right.
That's what I needed.
Thank you, Mr. Ricketts. Good luck to you.
Yep. Thank you.
Fabiola Perez and then Jeremy Justice will be on deck. All right, good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
It's Fabiola Perez.
Ms. Perez. Ms. Perez, you're here on a Santan Justice Court warrant. You have an arraignment hearing October 29th, 9 a.m. at the Santan Justice Court. Ms. Perez, I am going to release you on your own recognizance, so you are going to leave here. It'll be about 4 hours to 6 hours from now. Because you're being released, you're promising to go to court on the 29th?
Yes.
All right, thank you. And you're promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release as well.
All right, so October 29th, I get to go at court for this?
Right, so October 29th, you go to court. It's the Santan Justice Court. It's not here, okay? The address will be in your paperwork of where you need to go,
All right.
okay?
So I get to stay here. I don't have to go back. I don't have to go to Australia or anything.
No, not unless, I don't believe there's any other holds. No.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't have to go back to Australia. You're going to be released in about 4 hours to 6 hours.
Okay.
And then, yeah, just make sure to be to court on the 29th.
All right. And what about the money that it said that I had for the warrant?
About the money you had to pay for the warrant? Is that what you're asking
Is
about?
that for the 29th?
No, I'm not requiring you to pay anything today.
Okay.
Okay, now, when you go to court on the 29th, because it looks like this is a failure to pay warrant,
Yeah.
just talk to the judge about that. Most judges are happy to work with you,
Okay.
come up with a payment plan or something like that. And if you run into any issues with paying it, go meet with the judge, go talk to the judge, okay? We
Okay.
don't want you to have to go to jail because you owe some money,
Okay.
okay? I promise you, no judge wants you to have to sit in jail just because you owe some money.
All right.
All right, thank you, Ms. Perez. Good luck to you. Jeremy Justice and then Clay Gibbs will be on deck.
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
I'm Jeremy Justice.
Thank you, Mr. Justice.
Oh,
Mr. Justice, you are here on a South Mountain Justice Court warrant. This is for failure to pay in the
Yeah.
DUI case. So you have an arraignment hearing October 23rd, 9 a.m. at the South Mountain Justice Court. Mr. Justice, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance.
Thank
So you are
you,
going to
sir.
leave here. You're welcome. You're going to leave here. It'll be about 4 hours to 6 hours from now. You are promising to go to court on the 23rd. Make sure to go to court. Even
Yes,
if you
sir.
don't have the money, don't let that be a reason not to go. Go talk to the
Understood.
judge. I was just explaining to the last individual that was here, no judge wants you to have to go to jail because you owe some money.
no, yeah, I understand.
Okay, so talk about payment plan. If you fall behind, go meet with the judge, explain what's happened, you know, do what you can do,
Yes,
okay?
sir, I will. And
Okay.
I appreciate you being lenient.
Oh,
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. You have the standard conditions and restrictions of release as well. Mr. Justice, do you have any questions?
No, sir, thank you. My son will be happy to see me.
Oh, good. I'll bet he will. Thank you,
Thank you,
Mr.
thank you.
Justice. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Clay Gibbs.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Clay Daniel Gibbs.
Thank you,
And
Mr.
I must add, my social security number is not correct on.
Okay, don't say it out loud because this is
Okay.
public record, so don't say your social security number right now. You can talk to the court about that, but it's not something I could change anyway,
Okay,
okay?
and I have no idea what this case is involved in.
Okay, well, so what I'll say then, Mr. Gibbs, is there's a possibility that there's some sort of a mistake here, but I have a warrant for you. I wouldn't be able to change anything here today, okay? But you are being released. I'll let you know that right now.
Thanks.
So you're going to have the opportunity to take care of it if you think there's some sort of a mistake here.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. So the reason you're here, Mr. Gibbs, is there is a direct complaint arrest warrant. You are charged with 2 counts of trafficking stolen property in the second degree, which is a Class 3 felony. The alleged offense date is August 7th, 2022. Now, if none of that sounds familiar, you can talk to your attorney about that, because I have appointed you an attorney.
Okay.
You have a status conference October 24th, 8:31 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. You'll meet your attorney there at that time. And understand, you're innocent unless proven guilty. The state has the burden of proof. They'll have to have evidence to support their charges. Okay? So then you have a preliminary hearing currently scheduled for October 28th at 8:31 a.m. As I said, Mr. Gibbs, I'm releasing you on your own recognizance. That means you are going to leave here in about 4 hours to 6 hours from now. You're welcome. So because I'm releasing you, you are promising to go to court on all of your court dates.
Yes, sir.
You're also promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to initiate contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses, or have any physical contact with any alleged victims. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol. You must admit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department and contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gibbs, do you have any questions?
No, I mean, it's probably irrelevant, but I just want to say I never received a court date for this either. It just went straight to a warrant.
I see. So often when that happens, Mr. Gibbs, it's because the last address or contact information they had for you didn't work. So maybe you moved or something like that. They may have mailed you something, and then it came back, and then that's why the warrant was issued.
They don't have my address on here either.
Yeah, so I guess what I'd say, Mr. Gibbs, is just make sure when you go to court on the 24th, make sure they do have your current address. That way you don't run into those issues. The other thing I'll tell you, Mr. Gibbs, is you can look up your case online. Just if you go to the Maricopa County Superior Court website, there's an icon you can click to look up your case, either by the case number or by your name.
I did do that, and it just said it had it on there, but it said court date pending.
Okay. Well, so, and Mr. Gibbs, to be clear, I believe you're going to go to court. That's why I'm releasing you.
Go to court.
Right, and that's why I'm releasing you. I don't have any reason to think you're not going to go to court. I'm trusting that you are. So then hopefully when you go to court on the 24th, hopefully you can get these things, set up so that you don't have to worry about not finding out the information in the future.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gibbs. Good luck to you. And officers, can we clear the gallery before we see Mr. Campbell? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Sean.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Mr. Campbell, you're here on a Superior Court grand jury warrant. You are charged with 1 count of sexual abuse, a Class 5 felony with an alleged offense date of May 6, 2024. I've appointed you an attorney. You have an arraignment hearing October 16th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I am affirming the bond in the warrant. It is a $50,000 secured appearance bond. Secured appearance means you can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. That would be $5,000. If you pay your bond, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You will have an ankle monitor installed, and you must comply with pretrial services supervision. You also must comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Plus, you're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to initiate contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses, or have any physical contact with any alleged victims. You're also not to possess any weapons. You must obey the terms of any order of protection or injunction against harassment that has been issued or which may be issued, and you must submit to DNA and fingerprinting with the arresting police department. Mr. Campbell, do you have any questions?
Yes. About my bond? Yes. I just found out my mother died. I have no way to get out of bond. She's having services this week, and I would like to be there. My family's disowned me. I would need to get into treatment. I have 2 places that will take me right now. The John Bolton Academy, if you've ever heard of it, it's one hell of a program. It's 3 years, inpatient. They have a bed for me. One of her dying wishes was for me to go back. And I completed the program. I did 28 months. I'm being very sincere, very succinct right now. if you don't know about the program, please look it up. I don't mind taking a recess or something, but it is one of the hardest programs to do. I'm willing to do that again, and it was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. It kept me sober for over 5 years. With this information, losing my mother, I haven't even had time to process it. I can't even get a hold of anyone in my family to grieve or anything. I mean, I know you can't OR me. I wish you could just send me out on an ankle bracelet. I need to see my mom as she lies in her casket. You know, there's only one chance I'll ever be able to do that. I promise you I'll make my court dates. It's not that I skip court dates or anything. First of all, didn't even know about this court date. The last bit of advice my father gave me was get an attorney. You know what I mean? That's what I need to do. I can't do that in here. I can't do that to honor my mom. I have another bed at the Phoenix Rescue Mission for whatever reason. But I know that the John Volk Academy is the place I need to be. If you can find it in your heart, you talked about when you were giving us, like, I wouldn't say spiel because I felt like it was heartfelt. When you were telling us about take that time, that 4 to 6 hours for release, take that and kind of search your soul, search yourself, search what you can do for yourself, search what you can find to do just about it. And you said a lot of us are addicted to drugs, chemicals, things that we put in our body willingly. I'm done willingly fucking over my life, and apologies to the court for my language. At the cost of my family, and no other cost is higher than seeing your mother die, or anything to that effect. Judge, if you've ever heard anyone talk to you from behind this stand, please let me tell you I will complete this program. I will put not like a chalk under, but like under your name as far as being able to like trust people, but I will score one for the right team. I will stay sober. I will be that person that can be a better person for other people. Somebody like you were saying, and Dr. King was. I feel that at the end of the day, it's about the memories, and I don't want the memories of my mom to be lost to my drug addiction. And I feel if I don't do this the right way, I'll internalize, I'll do all these things that we're, as men, we do because we don't have like the time to cope or get in touch with our feelings. But I know that at the John Volk Academy, it will have me, it'll have me directly involved with my feelings on a personal basis every day. Now, don't get me wrong. I know the crime that has come up before me is not of any good nature, and that's not the character of my person, and that's not what I want to be remembered as. And I will deal with that as I should. I just wanted to make sure to ask for the right opportunity from you to have a consideration to be able, under these circumstances that are fairly mitigating and super stressful to me, to be able to, well, first of all, grieve with my family like anyone should, but also have the right treatment. And I've been on methamphetamines for 25 years, Your Honor, just to give you some background on me. It was only after the John Wilkin Academy that I was able to be clean for 7 years, like 5 to 7 years. Like, during the program, I was clean. After the program was 2 years at that point, and I was clean for 28 months during the program, and then 5 years after. I asked for an opportunity not only to grieve for my family member, but to let her memory mean something to me and mean something to my family, even though I had the opportunity to do it previously.
Yeah. So, Mr. Campbell, you know, I'm very sorry to hear about your mother. My condolences. This is a grand jury warrant. That means that they considered information that I don't have access to. So the grand jury met. They determined that a $50,000 bond was appropriate. I'm not able to change that bond. So I am keeping the bond in place. It is a $50,000 bond. What I'll say to you, sir, is I know that this isn't what you want. You know, I have heard you, and what I'll also say, though, is that you've been able to overcome some things before. You know, don't let this hold you back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell.
Consideration. There's no way you can lower the bond at all?
Again, the grand jury determined a $50,000 bond is appropriate. I can't change that. Thank you.